Hi, I'm DJ Mysterious. I thought I'd do a little thing to put on the internet, a little kind of rant kind of thing. Be like a diary, a blog sort of thing, but instead of writing it, I thought I'd talk it. This is the first one that I've done, and the date today is 26th of February 2008. And the other night there was an eclipse, which was where the moon passed into like the Earth's shadow. And it happened in the early hours of the morning, so I thought I'd go and try and see it. I set the telescope up that I got at home. I didn't set it up, I put the tripod for it in the shed. I had the telescope next to the tripod, so all I had to do was when the eclipse starts, to bring the tripod out into the garden, put the telescope in it, set it up, line it up on the moon, and I get to see the shadow of the Earth moving across the face of the moon. However, by the time it got to around midnight, the skies were like cloudy. I thought, I'm not going to see nothing here. Then at around 1:30ish, the cloud didn't exactly clear. It was sort of getting thicker, but there were still gaps in it. The eclipse was beginning to start. I could see the shadow moving across the moon. I could see a little sort of bite out the moon, sort of as if someone took a chunk out of it, as if the moon was a cookie or something. And then around 3 o'clock, it went completely overcast. Couldn't see nothing. Of course, at 3:01 in the morning was when the eclipse entered totality, and that's when the Earth's shadow is completely over the moon, and it turns red, like a copy red or browny kind of colour. And it depends how dirty the atmosphere on Earth is, will depend on how the moon looks lit up, sort of thing. Because as the light from the sun passes through the Earth's atmosphere, it bends, a bit like it does in a rainbow in the rain. But depending on what's in the atmosphere, pollution, dust, and all that sort of stuff, would depend how much light gets reflected and how it's bent and all that sort of stuff, and that would then sort of set the colour for the moon. But of course I didn't see that because it was totally overcast. I was really frustrated by that. The eclipse finished about 3:50ish, still completely overcast and cloudy. You can see the very thin crescent shape of the moon reappearing into the sunlight. So I was a bit annoyed, and I started to get ready to go to bed. And about 4:20 in the morning, I could just see the moon through the cloud, just coming out of the eclipse. I was like, oh, that's so frustrating. So I missed that eclipse, and I think the next one's in about 2010, 2013ish, so hopefully that'll be clear skies, because the one I saw last year was quite good. So that was the eclipse. The other day, Monday, I went to the job centre, because I'm on job seekers and I'm looking for a job. And I've been looking for a job for quite a while now, ever since sort of summer last year. I went down there, sort of handing in the proof of I've been applying for jobs and that. And the person down there who was interviewing me, well, not interviewing me, but sort of discussing my job seekers and that, was not very happy that I wasn't applying for jobs on their system. Thing is, when I go down the job centre, the jobs they put on their system are jobs I can't do. They're either too far or I'm not qualified and they don't give training. So for example, when I went down the job centre last Monday, I looked on the internet, their sort of, well, not the internet, but their computer system thing they got, and it had a job already applied for, so I couldn't apply for that because I only just applied for it like a couple of days before, and that was a floor assistant job at Wilkinson's. Then I looked at the next set of jobs, and they were all like management positions in Salisbury and Bristol and Bath, and I don't have a management qualification, and they didn't provide training, so there's no point in me trying to apply for that job unless I can, ask if they've got any other jobs going, but according to the system they didn't, so I didn't bother. Anyway, the next job was Tesco's in Bournemouth, and that was another floor assistant job. Well, that's too far, it's minimum wage, it's too far, but I'm driving there and back on a day's wages. That's all I do, I wouldn't have any money to pay on bills or even buy stuff at home. It would just all my money would just go on fuel. I'd be basically working to drive myself to Bournemouth and back, which didn't make any sense. But as the job centre were moaning at me because I'd never applied for jobs on their system, I applied for it. But surprise, surprise, I've not heard back. I mean, I find applying for jobs better at home, or going out in person and looking for jobs. I mean, the job centre is, I suppose, a good place to look for jobs, but they're not great. So I'd rather go on the internet and go around companies like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, blah, 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 and see if they've got any jobs going. If they don't advertise jobs, I'd rather post my CV or whatever to them and see if they have any jobs going. I find that works better than going down the job centre and applying on their online system thing. They weren't happy about it, so I applied for one in Bournemouth. I mean, the job in Tesco's in Bournemouth is like 80 miles away from me on minimum wage, which is £5.40 something I think an hour. It's not doable. I mean, it cost me a good 40 to 45 quid to drive there and back, you know, and even more to go by train. Another thing that's been getting right on my nerves lately is BBC Radio 1. They got a song which is called Rockstar, but it's not their song, it's, you know, a certain artist's song. But it has certain words which they seem to think are offensive. And, for example, there's a lyric in there that says, a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, rather than saying a drug dealer on speed dial, they've just gone a dealer on dial, which makes no sense whatsoever. And it's got so bad that they've, you know, cut so much stuff out of this song. It sounds like a CD being played that's skipping across each lyric it gets to, and on other bits, skipping words. It just sounds horrible. It makes no sense when you listen to it because they've cut so much out. And soon, if they keep cutting stuff out and muting other bits and pieces, it would just be about 10 seconds long with Rockstar in the middle. It's totally crazy. So that's it, I suppose. That's my little rant for the last 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes. And hopefully I have something more interesting to talk about next time on this. So until the next time, see you later.